does that mean? We want to say, well, where did that come from? Well, let me go on and tell you the other part of the story. If we get away from education and just look at overall inequality, I'll give you a picture. This is just for men. I'll show you the graph for women in a minute. I'm going to track what's happened to real wages at the weekly wage, weekly earnings of men at different percentiles. So think of the green line is the one we hear a lot about. That's the median. That's what happened to the median worker. So the median worker's wage has kind of inched its way up. The 10th percentile worker, the 25th, 75th, 90th, 95th, as you go up, it's gone up faster. You do the same picture for women, that's the picture for women. So tremendous increase in inequality within men, within women, across all these different percentiles. And if you looked within college graduates, we'd see a widening of the income differentials. If we did it within high school graduates, we'd see the same thing. Now we can put it all together in one picture. This picture has, looking at different percentiles of the wage distribution. So this is your high income workers over here, low income workers over here. This is measuring over a 40-year period from 1970 to 2010. So that's 40 years. This is how much measured in change in logs. So think about this as like 0.4 over 40 years is like 1% a year. This is the real wage growth experienced by the lowest percentile women. About the lowest percentiles of women gained about 1% a year. The highest percentile women gained over 2.5% a year over that period. If you look within men, the lowest percentiles of men, basically no growth at all in real wages. Highest percentile men, growth of about 1.5% per year, 0.6 over 40 years. Okay? Now what do we learn from looking at this picture? And I think it's a very important lesson. One is you see this curve is basically upward sloping no matter where you look. If you look at the low end, it slopes up. In the middle, it slopes up. At the top, it slopes up. What does that mean? It means the growth in wages has been higher the higher up in the distribution you are. That's widening inequality. But it also means that this is not a story about just the extremes, right? Look how much growth in inequality there's been between the 25th and the 75th percentiles, right? There's been enormous growth within the middle of the distribution. And if you've been following the inequality debate over the last, I don't know, this period of time, you've seen a shift in the stories that people would tell. How many people remember the underclass, the discussion of the underclass, right? It was a story that like, oh, all these guys, they're doing okay. There's this one group at the bottom that's kind of isolated from everybody else. They're falling behind. Today we hear the opposite story. It's the super rich. Everybody up here, these are the only guys doing anything. Nothing else going on for anybody else. And the answer is that's not the story of inequality. The story of inequality is one in which there have been widening differentials throughout the distribution. The 80th percentile has done better than the 60th. The 60th done better than the 40th. 40th done better than the 20th. 90th done better than the 80th. Whatever you look, the whole distribution is stretched out. What that means is this is a much more pervasive phenomena than I think we're often led to believe. This is not going to be explained by tax subsidies and boards of directors, what they're doing with the super rich, right? It's not going to explain why there was widening inequality in this range. Welfare programs aren't going to explain why there's widening inequality in this range, right? All these stories that we're led to hear and talk about, they may have some role in some places, but that can't be the overriding story. The overriding story has to be there's something very fundamental going on in the economy that's causing this to happen over this period of time. That we're getting this widening not just in one spot, but throughout the distribution.